Begin with an ABC News exclusive one-on-one with the two-fisted New Jersey Governor Christie, the man at the center of today's headlines. A big new report was released today concluding Christie did not order those 2 lanes of traffic on a bridge to be shut down for political revenge. But there's a question because the report that exonerates him came from lawyers hired by his side. So I sat down with Christie today at his home in New Jersey to ask about the report, the fallout, and if he's really still in the game for the presidency in 2016. You'll remember on America's busiest bridge for 4 days straight, drivers used to 30-minute commutes were suddenly locked in 2 to 3 to 4 hour gridlock. Emergency vehicles delayed, children in school buses, desperate people making calls to 911.
It's the emergency and say I'm not still here.
And then we read text messages showing some of Christie's appointees and assistants seemed to be chortling because this was causing stress to a mayor, a political adversary. One of them saying, "Is it wrong that I'm smiling?" Another responding, "No." And tonight, some of the people who wrote those emails have still not talked about what they said or did not say to Governor Christie. One of them, Deputy Chief of Staff Bridget Kelly, seen here with the governor. Another, a member of the Port Authority, David Wildstein, rumbling about getting immunity. But until they do, the governor points out, this report clears him.
This report says that I had no knowledge of it before it happened, and nor did I authorize it or have anything to do with it. And that's the truth. That's what I said on January 8th.
But does it make you feel clueless? Does it make you feel like, what was wrong with me?
Not clueless, but it certainly makes me feel taken advantage of. And also, more importantly, I feel like I let people down by not knowing. Sometimes people do inexplicably stupid things.
Do you really believe they didn't do it because they thought that's what would please you? If you didn't know about it, that they were going to try to please you?
I can't get into what their motivations were, except to say that anybody who really knows me would not believe that doing something inexplicably stupid would please me. I'm a passionate, direct guy.
Stupid.
Yeah.
But when you hear those 911 calls, this isn't just about stupidity.
Well, the stupidity that led to the abusiveness. Sure.
I want to get to what everybody is saying about this report. Words are used: whitewash, expensive scam, that the taxpayers of New Jersey just paid for your lawyers to find you blameless. Why should the taxpayers be paying for this report?
Well, a few things. First off, these are not my lawyers.
But it's a law firm that you've been affiliated with in the past. You know one of the partners.
Sure.
It's chosen by the office.
Sure, there's probably hardly a law firm in this area that I haven't had some interaction with after being the United States Attorney. But the bottom line is that these people have their own professional and personal reputations. 6 of them are former federal prosecutors. They're not going to whitewash anything for me. If
Bridget Kelly talks, will she blow this report out of the water?
Not credibly, no. Absolutely not.
You think she'll come after you?
I don't see any reason why she would.
David Wildstein has said that at a 9/11 event, he talked to you about traffic. It's a little ambiguous exactly what. Did he?
Yeah, I don't have any recollection of that, Diane. David was one of hundreds of people that I spoke to that day. We stood around and spoke briefly that day. I don't have any recollection of him saying anything, but I'll tell you this. I'll tell you what he didn't say. He didn't say, "Hey, by the way, Governor, I'm closing down some lanes on the George Washington Bridge to stick it to the mayor. Is that okay?" That I'd remember.
As you know, the word bullying comes up over and over again. Have you asked yourself, did I do anything to create the climate in which this happened?
Sure. Spent a lot of time the last 11 weeks thinking about what did I do, if anything, to contribute to this. And I don't believe that I did, but I'm certainly disappointed in myself that I wasn't able to pick up these traits in these people. I'm disappointed in myself that I didn't look closer, that I trusted too much.
You don't think there's a single possibility that they thought that in what you rough and tumble style, in Jersey politics style, that they thought this would please you?
No.
That this was for you?
No. I don't believe it was for me.
It was just personal?
Listen, I don't believe it was for me.
What did you say to your children? What did you say?
Our oldest son was home on break, and he asked me, "Did you do this?" It was a tough question that your son would ask you. And I said, "No, I didn't." And he said, "Good, I'm glad."
Ronald Reagan said that leadership is not just about doing great things yourself, it's about inspiring great things in every person around you. Did you fail your definition of leadership?
Well, in this instance, this is not something that I think I inspired. And to the extent that any of them thought that this was acceptable conduct, then I fell short. And I don't think that in the end, I obviously didn't make it clear enough to these folks that this kind of stuff was unacceptable. This is an abuse of the trust, of the authority that was granted to you. And that's unacceptable. And to the extent that anyone didn't understand that, believe me, from this day forward, anyone who works for me will understand that.
Is it a change in the leadership style?
No. I am who I am. And for some people, they love it. And I will tell you, when I travel around New Jersey, I hear from most people that that's the thing they love the most.
And what about Iowa?
Oh, well, I think they love me in Iowa too, Diane. I've been there a lot. I think they love me there too.
Has this torpedoed your 2016 run? Your
No.
2016 chances?
No, listen, I haven't made a decision about 2016, and I don't intend to make a decision on 2016 till a year from now. But it won't have anything to do with what's happened the past 10 weeks. What's happened the past 10 weeks, I think, ultimately will make me a better leader, whether it's as governor of New Jersey or in any other job that I might take in the public or private sector.
Has this been toughest time in your life?
Toughest time in my professional life, not my personal life. But toughest time in my professional life, sure. Sure.
And what's the measure of that? Is that up at 4 in the morning?
Or getting to sleep at 4 in the morning. Yeah, you don't sleep, you don't eat, you struggle.
Bring you at any point to thought, maybe I'll step down, maybe this is too much?
Never. Never. It's not a quitter.
And by the way, there are other investigations underway, and we will be asking the governor a lot more in that interview tonight on Nightline and tomorrow morning, first thing, on Good Morning America.